Jeremy. Welcome to another episode of Practical IT. In today's episode, we're going to talk about rsync, which is an amazing utility for syncing files. It can also be used in various forms for backup. We're going to look at some of the documentation available for rsync. We're going to look at why you would use it, where you can use it, and a few other pieces of information. We'll do a short demo, but we'll pick up more demos in future episodes. I'm anticipating this being a 3 to 4 episode series, so let's get started. Alright, looking at the Wikipedia page for rsync, it's a utility for efficiently transferring and synchronizing files across computer systems by checking the timestamp and size of files. Commonly found on Unix-like systems, including Linux, Mac OS, and if you're lucky enough to have Windows 10 and have the Linux subsystem for Windows installed, you can also use rsync using the Ubuntu Bash for Windows software. Let's see, so it functions as both a file synchronization and file transfer program. Rsync algorithm is a type of delta encoding and is used for minimizing network usage, so it is quick. Alright, so we'll come down here, we'll take a look at examples. rsync-avz, so A is for archive, V for verbose, Z to compress, --delete. So if a file has been deleted on the source side, it'll get deleted on the destination side. Specifying your local and your remote destination or remote set of folders. Does not have to be a remote destination. And there are a few other examples here. If we look at the official rsync page, and let me blow this up, looks like there have not been any big releases, any big updates since December of 2015, and this was a bug fix, including a security fix. And they give you various pieces of information, including some more examples. And this is actually an example script backup to a central backup server with 7-day incremental backups. So this is a little bit more involved. There's an example for backing up to a spare disk. Automated backup at home. Got your date, your destination, make directory, and most of this script isn't anything to do with rsync. Creates a daily backup of Susan's work in a Susan's backup directory so she can retrieve any version from the last week. The last line does the rsync of her directory across the modem link to the host Samba. And so yes, this is the official information from the rsync people. If you need to install the Linux subsystem for Windows, the information is readily available. Install Linux subsystem on Windows 10. It gives you a walkthrough on how to do that. And we'll take a look at that again in another video. So as you can guess by now, rsync is a command line utility. What if you wanted a GUI for rsync? Well, those are available as well. There's rsync OS X, last updated 2 days ago. There's one called rsync, available for Windows, Mac, and iOS even. There is Duplicity, which I'm jumping ahead of myself. Duplicity is you can think of it as a wrapper around rsync that adds some extra bells and whistles. And so what got me started down the rsync rabbit hole was I had a situation where I was a customer of an online backup provider, and this particular backup provider decided that they're not going to focus on the consumer market anymore. So I had a couple of choices. I could either go with their suggested vendor, or I could do some research on my own. And I had known about rsync.net, and knowing that rsync was a cross-platform tool and also supported, as you can see on this page, Synology and FreeNAS, I knew this was something I wanted to give a chance. So I did some research on it, and about, a week or two ago, I went ahead and pulled the trigger and signed up for rsync.net. And so, yes, you might be thinking that this is overkill for somebody to be using at home. However, they do offer a competitive price on their solution. They have real engineers that will answer questions. And given that they've built their own data centers and their own platform for this, they know it better than a lot of these other backup providers that are just reselling over top of Amazon or Google Cloud Platform or Microsoft Azure, and using their back end and, putting a spiffy front end on top of it. So you can use this for backing up files on personal systems and on business systems. If you do web development, you can use, if you're using a Linux-based hosting provider, you could get SSH access to your hosting account and then do an rsync from your hosting account to another location, effectively duplicating your files and being able to fairly easily roll back if you have any major issues. Now, if you're using something like WordPress, you're obviously going to want to back up more than just the basic files in your home directory. You're also going to want to back up your database, which that's a subject for another video. But we can at least make the backup of the individual files outside of the database a whole lot easier and provide some level of security that if something goes wrong, you'll be able to restore fairly quickly. So another question, why use this rather than some other solution? Well, my big push was that it's cross-platform. Any system I sit down in front of will have some option for interfacing with rsync.net. You get to some of these other options, especially ones that, require you to download their backup client, and you're not going to have this flexibility. Yes, you might have to do a little work at the command line to get this set up initially. But the idea here is you get it backing up the way you want, and you script it, and you set it and forget it, more or less. So it's cross-platform, works on Linux, BSD, Unix, Mac OS, and as mentioned earlier, if you have the developer tools and Linux subsystem for Windows install, it'll work on what is commonly known as Bash for Windows. It is also fast. It does not require a GUI. So if you're using a Linux server, this is a great solution. If you're using one of the Windows servers without a GUI, this is a great solution. As mentioned earlier, if you want a GUI, there are several available, some free, some commercial. And so, of course, there are going to be some naysayers, but, you know, it doesn't handle snapshots, encrypted backups, yada, yada, yada. And there are solutions to each of these problems, which we can get into in a future video. With all that in mind, we're going to minimize Chrome. We'll bring up a couple of command windows. All right, I'm going to do another one here. And so, and we'll even make this a little more interesting for all of you that are more graphically inclined. And okay, so get rid of that. We are in the rsync demo directory here. This is the same place we're in right here. All right. We are going to do desktop. We're going to back up the pen test directory. So we're going to go back here and we're going to say rsync-u, which not so important right now, but for future commands, this does updates only. A for archive, V for verbose, Z to compress. We're going to do -- progress. And we're going to say ~desktop pen test. And we're going to send that to volumes, Mac stuff. Here, take that off, and we're going to come back here and go to rsync demo and hit enter, and just like that, we've got the contents of the pen test directory available. Now you're saying, oh yeah, but this wasn't a terribly big transfer. So let's do another one. And we'll actually go in here and we'll say ls, and you've got pen test. Okay, so this one and this one are matching. Let's go clear our screen, desktop, we'll say ls, That's 51 megs. Okay, so let's do... Come back here. Desktop. Fledged Tech Day demo. And we're going to put that also in rsync. Take off the trailing slash. And we hit enter. And that one took a little bit longer. As you can see, there's some MP4 files in there. But the point is, we've also got the videos synced over. So, that is a quick look at rsync. In future videos, we will look at non-Mac platforms, non-Mac OS platforms. We'll look at Windows and Linux specifically. And we will do some backups. I'm going to even demo backing up to rsync.net, just so you can get an idea for how you might accomplish that. And that brings us to the end of another video. In future episodes, we're going to go into more depth into rsync. We'll look at some GUI options and have a little fun with this. So the idea being that we don't want anybody to be stressing over backups, and this is one way to get it set up, get it running in the background. You check it a few times a month and you've got some peace of mind. You know that your family videos, your family photos, your genealogy information is not going to be gone if you have a fire or a flood, or, you know, a hurricane comes through, or some other disaster, earthquake, for instance. If you get your stuff backing up not only to a local backup, to say an external drive, but also to some sort of cloud provider, whether it be Amazon, rsync.net, any of a number of those guys, you will have a lot more peace of mind, and you'll find it does not have to be a terribly expensive or involved, time-consuming endeavor to have this peace of mind. All right, I'm Jeremy, signing out for Practical IT. If you like this video, please like and comment below, share with your friends, spread the word. We're always looking for more subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there, and we'll be back soon with another video. Have a great day.